In this video, you're going to learn about the best ideas and the core message from the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko WIllink. But not only that, I'm going to show you how do you actually put this to use, how do you implement it? Because reading the book or getting the summary is one thing. Putting it into action is a totally different ballgame. So I'm going to show you what the best ideas are, I'm going to show you what the best tactics are very quickly, and then I'm going to show you how do you implement them so you can make your life better, because this is what this is all about. Reading the book is fun. Putting it into action, this is what is actually going to make a difference in your life. So let's do it.
One early morning, WIllink arrives at the battlefield of a major mission in Iraq. The mission had kicked off just before sunrise, and now only a few hours later is complete chaos with bullets flying everywhere. As a senior SEAL commander, WIllink tries to understand what is going on, but the more information he gathers, the less it adds up. Soldiers are shooting at a building where they believe enemy forces are hiding, and there is even a heavy-duty tank getting ready to reduce the building to rubble. As something doesn't really add up, WIllink rushes to the enemy building and ends up face to face with a fellow SEAL. In the end of the day, it turns out that it was what they call blue on blue. Friendly forces shooting at other friendly forces, which is a big deal. So back at the base, WIllink is charged with the investigation of how such a terrible thing could happen and what exactly went wrong. After going over every minor detail of the operation, WIllink gathers everyone to report on his findings. In front of all his seniors, peers, subordinates, and everybody else who was responsible for this mission, he takes full and complete ownership of the situation. He realized that although many of the things had gone wrong by various people, the ultimate responsibility as the leader of this mission falls on him. He takes extreme ownership. So how can anyone go about doing the same, taking extreme ownership of their team and of their own life? It starts with what the author calls the battle within, and realizing that a successful leader must own everything in his or her own world. Everything is his responsibility. If a team is not performing well, a great leader cannot blame their subordinates, but take ownership and rectify the situation. He must look through the objective lens of reality, attack weaknesses, and put the success of the mission and the team first. As WIllink puts it, there is no bad teams, only bad leaders. During the final phase of the SEAL training, people are split into teams who are competing against each other in a physically and mentally exhausting exercise. The most senior and experienced member of a team is assigned to be a leader. And one time, WIllink saw that there was a huge discrepancy between the top team and the worst performing one. So he decided to run a little experiment and swap the leaders of the two teams. In the very next phase of the competition, the losing team became the best performing one. While previously the leader was blaming the members and they were blaming the leader and everybody was shooting blame at one another, under the new leadership who demonstrated through extreme ownership, the same team that was losing before now flourished. But how did that leader do it? He believed in the mission. In order to convince and inspire others, one must be a true believer themselves. Not just get what the mission or the objective is, but own it, internalize it, become one with it. Extreme ownership is contagious. Once people see and sense your conviction, they start believing themselves. You've seen the difference between a professor or maybe a boss or a manager delivering a message with a look of, I wish I was at home watching Netflix, and the one who really gets you excited about what they're talking about. We've all been there, we've all seen how that looks like. Finally, to win the battle within, one must check their ego. Everyone has one, and that's okay, but being successful requires a high degree of humility, and when personal agenda becomes more important than the team or the mission, performance suffers. Okay, now that you've won the proverbial battle within, let's move on to the laws of combat, the real-life application of your newly found extreme ownership philosophy. To succeed, a team needs to operate with these 4 core messages in mind. First, cover and move. In other words, teamwork or working together. Each member is a crucial part of the team and everyone needs to work together towards the common goal. The second one is simple. When plans and orders are way too complicated, people may not understand them. When they don't understand them, they cannot execute them. So simplify, simplify, simplify. If you find something to be more complex than what should be, break it down into smaller and simple chunks. They communicate those chunks to your team. Third is prioritize and execute. To no one's surprise, this is exactly as it sounds like. If there are more than one fire that you need to deal with, prioritize the one that's doing the most damage and take care of it. But the main distinction is that the author calls for all efforts to be put towards that one single fire. Not little groups to be dispatched to deal with the smaller fires, but all efforts, all team members, all resources are put towards extinguishing one fire at a time. Number 4 is Decentralized Command. A successful leader cannot productively manage directly more than 6 to 10 people. So teams need to be broken down into smaller groups with a clearly designated leader. And each of these leaders must understand the overall mission of their team, but also know how it fits in the bigger picture. So, as a leader, you've taken extreme ownership of everything. Your team knows exactly what to do and how to do it. Now you need to ensure the long-term success, or as the author calls it, sustaining victory. It all starts with having a plan. What is the goal? Objectives must be clearly identified and communicated to everyone on the team. The actual planning process though should be delegated as much as possible, and leaders should not be bogged down with the details. Once the plan is finalized, it must be communicated to everyone up and down the chain of command. Everyone must be on the same page, from the front troops all the way to the leader of the mission or the organization. Everyone must know what role they play in the plan and how to go about achieving the mission or the goal. Couple that with allowing leadership to go not only down the chain of command but up, allowing people who are more junior to give advice, to give recommendations to people who are senior to them, taking decisive action even when you don't have all the information, and you have yourself a badass team hunting down goals, making things happen, and generally kicking ass. This is what extreme ownership is all about. Achieving your goals, taking responsibility, shifting the blame away from something you don't control, putting all the ownership onto yourself, and using this to succeed.
Okay, so extreme ownership, how do you do it? Well, before you can be a great leader or pass along to your teammates or up the chain of command or down the chain of command, you need to be the one who takes responsibility for all the things in your life. So how do you do that? Well, the best way I found is with this exercise. Sit down, take a few minutes, and write down on a piece of paper all the things that are currently not working on in your life. What's not happening? Maybe you want to lose a little bit of weight and it's not working out. Maybe you want a promotion. Maybe you want to have a better relationship with somebody in your family or your spouse or your pet. Doesn't matter. List it on a piece of paper what's not working out, and then across from it, list what you think is the reason for this not to work out. Is it your fault? Is it somebody else's fault? Is it the government's fault? Is it the weather? Is it the environment? And what this is going to force you to do is to consciously realize that everything on your list leads back to you. So once you make that conscious decision, you can start working on it, the subconscious. Because consciously when you do it, you're going to realize that everything is on you. But the automatic, the unconscious response is what you need to work on. Imagine that you're driving down the road and something happens. Somebody hits your car. Your immediate reaction most likely will be, oh my God, this person hit me. And you might not realize that it was your fault. You did something. Or you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, man, I'm a little bit overweight. You automatically start blaming somebody else or the environment. So what you need to do is list all the things that are not working out, then figure out how you can impact it. Figure out who is it to blame. Is it really somebody else or you? And once you do this on a weekly basis, it's going to start internalizing. You're going to start working consciously on it so you can develop the unconscious response. The automatic response of this person is to blame or this person is to blame is going to start fading away, and you're gonna realize that it all leads back to you. And it's very empowering. One day you're gonna do something, something's gonna happen to you, and you're gonna realize, wait, I'm in full control. This was on me. Whether it's good or bad, you're gonna realize that you now own the circumstances, you own your life, and this is what extreme ownership is. But you need to start with the simple exercise of listing all things that are not working out, then give a reason of why it's not working out, and then do this on a weekly basis so you can start internalizing the fact that you own your life. And then once this has become practice for you, then you can pass it to your teammates, to your subordinates, up the chain of command, but you need to be the one, you need to be the change. As the book says itself, you need to be a believer. Because if you don't believe in this, there's no way you can convince somebody else to take ownership of their life if you yourself are not doing it. So start with yourself, implement extreme ownership, and then spread it around. Because once you realize that you're in full control of the good, the bad, and the ugly, trust me, it is an amazing feeling. You're gonna become a lot more confident and your life is gonna improve dramatically. So this was the book Extreme Ownership. This was my take on it. Now I pass the question on to you. What do you like about this book? Would you implement these tactics? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about it? If you read the book, what's your opinion? If you haven't read it, what do you think of the summary? What do you think of the implementation guide? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want more videos such as this one, reviewing some of the best books in self-help, in motivation, in habits, in improving your life, and then giving the implementation guide for each, click on the subscribe button. Join the family. I'm gonna release 2 videos per week reviewing some of the best books and most importantly, how to implement them. So join the family, click on the subscribe button. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Have an amazing day and take ownership of your life. I'll see you in the next one.